What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist. As you can see, I'm playing Remnant from the Ashes once again, but that's not going to be the main focus of this video. Today, I'm going to be fighting a boss. Besides that, today we're going to be trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. We're going to be trying to figure out what exactly is going to be going on with the, I guess, revelation of the Warhammer The Old World. So it was revealed that GW, they said, you know what, we're bringing back not Age of Sigmar, but the original Warhammer fantasy, right back to the lives of everybody, which is weird. I don't know why they decided to bring it back, but they had one of the guys from the Forge World teams talking about this new and improved gaming mechanic. So I guess that just means that it's gonna be like a new, I don't even know what to call it, a new version of Warhammer. So we never actually got to play any of Warhammer Fantasy. We just recently started Age of Sigmar, and I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy it. The rules are pretty sleek, and it's easy to kind of... Oh, I died. The rules for Age of Sigmar are very easy, and it's very like streamlined, it's quick, it's to the point. You don't have to ask your opponent, hey, what's your toughness? Or, it just goes so quick. So recently, Gershwin, the Sound Alchemist, and Docile Creature, the third person in our podcasts, we've been trying to get into Age of Sigmar, and we finally got our armies, and we finally started to play our first game. So it's a little bit different because obviously we're playing it in a three people kind of thing. So we did play 1v1v1, but with a twist. So in the book for the Beastclaw Raiders, which are kind of like the ogres, there is a mission where the ogre player is essentially a mercenary. He's being hired by the other two people, which would have been Gershwin and I. Gershwin playing... he was playing the Blades of Corn. So, all about rushing up, dealing damage in close combat, which surprisingly enough, that's like the main thing for Age of Sigmar, because there's very little shooting, which I found strange. Because shooting seems to be the main thing for 40K, at least 8th edition. But anyway, it's... so basically the Blades of Corn are going up against the Night Hunt, and we're essentially trying to buy the aptitudes, I guess. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make sense. We're trying to buy the ogres to help us in taking out the other guys. And it's a really cool kind of like game mechanic, because we're essentially, in the beginning of the game, we're trying to bid a number of wounds that we're going to take away. So essentially, think of it as models. It's like, hey, Beast Claws, we're going to feed you, like for example, I'll say, I'll give you 6. 6 of my Night Hunts would feed you if you are on my, if you become my mercenary for the first 2 turns of the game. And then the Blades of Corn, they then, you know, put a number up, like, oh, well, I'll give you 10. And these numbers are secret, so it's up to the Beastclaw Raider dude to decide, yeah, you know what, I'll take the 7, or I'll take the 10. And you have to think about it, because it's all about strategy. The strategy is, do you want to go with a player who's hindering themselves more? So for example, if I said, I'll give you 20 wounds, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll take you on my team. So now you have essentially a weaker person on your team, and that weaker person is essentially trying to win out victory points. Victory points can only be scored by the two players that are fighting amongst each other, so the Beast Call Raiders cannot score points, at least for the first 2 turns. After that, the points are now used as bargaining chips. And these bargaining chips is essentially the same thing. So for the first 2 points, the Beast Claw Raiders is on one person's team, and for the rest of the game, it is all up to the amount of points that they capture to use as bargaining chips. So it's very strategic, because it's like, okay, so the Sound Alchemist has now said that he'll give up 20 points. So now these 20 points are going to the Beast Claw Raider guy, but at the same time, now you've given that person 0 points because he gave you all of his victory points. So it's a lot more strategic than one would think. Get my butt whooped over here. But anyway, that's just one mission, and that was our first mission, and that was a huge, like, a huge difference between 40K, which normally we just play like, oh, you know, just everybody against everybody, kill points, or play like objectives, but at the same time that's not as what's the word I'm looking for, strategic. Like with 40K, the game can be decided even before like you put any models on the field. It's like it's very one-sided depending on the lists, because you can go very spammy and that's gonna already dictate how well you do. Like I know in 7th edition there was like the Riptide spam, and that was like super overpowered. In this edition, all you have to do is bring like loads and loads of bodies, and you'll get overwhelmed with like the amount of firepower coming your way, even though they're gonna like hit you on 6s and wound you on 6s. With Age of Sigmar, I mean, from at least our first playthrough or our first games, it was a lot more smooth, more fluid. The models just look awesome, so that's another thing. So I really hope that they kind of incorporate this to the old world. I really don't know exactly what they do, because if you're looking at Forge World is still using 7th edition rules, as far as I'm aware of, at least. So that kind of goes to show you that maybe they'll keep the Age of Sigmar rules for the new Warhammer, but I don't know. I mean, it's cool and all, because there were some, well, I guess the lore is that the old world died and was reborn anew, and because of that, certain factions were gone. I know one of these factions was the Tomb Kings. Yeah, that's what they're called. I was going to say like the Skeletons, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, but those are new. Those are brand new to the Age of Sigmar line, and they're kind of like elite units. But yes, the Tomb Kings are indeed gone, and you can't really use them in Age of Sigmar. You can play Legions of Nagash, but they're still kind of missing something. So, who knows what's gonna happen? I have no idea what to expect with the old world. If you guys did play any of the Age of Sigmar stuff, let us know how it is, and comparing that to 40K and the old school Warhammer Fantasy, which one did you enjoy the most and why? If it's Age of Sigmar, is it because of the mounts, or is it because of the awesome streamlined rules? And that's not to bash 8th edition 40K, because it did get very much streamlined. It got easier to play. They kind of tried to make the game faster, but still, in my opinion, it's not as great as Age of Sigmar. But hey, we only played one game. I think we need to actually play a little bit more to actually know how it is, but once that happens,
Liz.
we'll go from there.
My Liz is gone.
So yeah, that's all I got for today. Just kind of showcasing some remnant from the ashes, while also talking about Warhammer The Old World.
Now she's gone.
And yeah, so again,
Those things ripped a hole
just
in
let me
my
know what you
world.
think about the reintroduction to fantasy, pretty much. And also let me know, when do you think it's going to come out? Because they said it's going to be a long time before any of this actually, becomes a thing. But yeah, and again, what's your favorite? Which edition of Warhammer 40K is your favorite? And do you enjoy Age of Sigmar? And do you enjoy fantasy? And which one do you enjoy more and why? And that's all I got. This has been The Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.